Bert Johnson, who is a great public servant for the people of the city of Detroit, and he came here today. He's very busy. He's very, very busy, but he took time out to come here today to be with us. So you're going to give him your undivided attention as he shares with us a book in honor of Reading Month. And we hope that the invitation will be open, that he will take it anytime. He's welcome to come to our school.
I've got a lot of running around to do, but let me explain something to you. Nothing is more important, nothing is more fun for me today. As the sun shines and it warms up outside, than coming in here and spending a little bit of time with you. Are you happy about this reading day? Yeah! Good, because I'm very happy to be here with you. So, the book that I brought you today is called Memoirs of a Goldfish. Everybody knows what a goldfish is? Yeah. Everybody knows what a shark is? Yeah. Everybody knows what a whale is? Yeah. A goldfish is a small, beautiful fish, right? Yeah. What color is a goldfish? Gold. What color is a goldfish? Gold. Who's ever had a goldfish? All right. Memoirs of a goldfish. Does anybody know what a memoir is? No. Now I'm going to need everybody's attention. A memoir is when someone writes down things that have happened to them and they want to keep a journal of it. And so this goldfish is going to tell us about some of the things that have happened to it. Ladies and gentlemen, Memoirs of a Goldfish. This book is written by someone that if you watch Channel 4 News, we see all the time. His name is Devin Skillion. Day one. Goldfish says, I swam around my bowl. If any of you have a goldfish at home, you know that goldfish swim around their bowl. Day two, I swam around my bowl not once, but twice. And he looks happy to be swimming around that bowl. Day three, I swam around my bowl. I thought about taking a nap, but fish don't sleep, right? Because they always have their eyes what? Open. And that's why every time you look at a fish, you say, I wonder, is he sleeping? Well, fish don't sleep. So he says, on day three, I swam around my bowl. I thought about taking a nap, but fish don't sleep. So I swam around my bowl. On day four, I got some company today. How many of you all with goldfish at home know that the goldfish is not the only thing in the bowl? Sometimes our parents take us to the store and they buy small trinkets and we put them in the goldfish bowl, right? He says on day four, I got some company today. I don't like the looks of him one bit. He doesn't say anything, he just bubbles. And the picture is of a person who actually goes diving. People who go diving, sometimes they put this big instrument, this big helmet on their head, and it pumps air in and it lets them breathe, and they can dive and swim around in the ocean or in the rivers for a long time. So he says, on day four, I got some company. I don't like the looks of him at all, not one bit. He doesn't say anything, he just bubbles. And so he must be looking at this diver, and it's not a real diver, it's just a small figurine. And this diver is sitting in there, he's saying, I just don't like it. Let's see what happens on day five. Day five, and look at my goldfish. He's not happy anymore. In every other picture, he had a nice smiling face. In this picture, he doesn't look too happy. He told us he wasn't happy. On day five, Mr. Bubbles still hasn't said a word. He just looks at me. I said hello to him today. And he said, gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. He's creepy. How many of you have ever stood next to someone who didn't say a word to you? That wasn't very nice, was it? And when we stand next to each other, the first thing we do is when we greet someone, we say, hello, how are you? And he says, good. And I say, my name is Bert, and he says his name is Davion. So when we stand next to each other, we always want to be cordial. We always want to know who's standing next to us. The goldfish is saying Mr. Bubbles, who's in the tank with him, he doesn't say a word, and that's not good by him. And it's making him sad. Day 6. Today my bowl looks like a garden. There are a bunch of plants in here now. I guess I'll have to water them. Great. Well, the funny thing about watering plants in a goldfish bowl is that there's already what in the bowl? Water. That's right. So the plants are going to get all the water that they need and a little more. But it looks like whoever owns the goldfish put plants in there, and they put the figurine in there, and my goldfish does not look happy. He's not happy. It looks like he's getting proud. And so what day are we on now? 7. You all are doing a great job because you're paying attention. Day 7. Mr. Bubbles and I now have company. He's a snail. How many of you all know what a snail is? How many of you all know that a snail has a shell? Snail has a shell. You guys are great. And that snail that has a shell is alive, right? Yes. And that snail is in the tank with the goldfish. And the figurine, Mr. Bubbles, is in the tank with the goldfish. And what else is in my tank? And plants. And plants that are going to get a lot of what? Water. And my goldfish is not happy. Why? Because it's crowded. On day 7, he says, this snail is now in the tank with me. He says his name is Mervin. And he likes to eat the slime off the inside of the bowl. Not what we like, right? My goldfish says that Mervin is what? Disgusting. So, let's go over this. We got the figurine who's in the tank. His name is what? Mr. Bubbles. We have plants in there with Mr. Bubbles who are going to get a lot of water. We got this thing that loves to eat the slime off the inside of the tank. But what's my snail's name? Mervin. You all are paying attention. That's day 7. Now we're going to go on to day 8. On day 8, things are getting very crowded. While watering the plants, I met a crab named Fred. I offered him my fin, and he nearly cut it off because crabs have these. They have claws. And if a crab opens and closes a claw around something that can be cut,
crabs live in the ocean.
It can be cut off. That's right, crabs do live in the ocean. I met a crab named Fred. I offered him my fin and he nearly cut it off. Even Mr. Bubbles is afraid of him. And remember, Mr. Bubbles doesn't say a word. Fred says I should stay on my side of the bowl. Look, I said, the whole bowl is my side of the bowl. I was here first. He snapped his claw and Mervin fainted because Mervin got scared. I gotta get out of here, my goldfish says. So not only is my goldfish living with Mr. Bubbles, who won't ever speak to him, Mervin, the snail, who eats the slimy stuff off the inside of the goldfish bowl, a bunch of plants that are going to suck up all of the water. Now he's got to deal with Fred, a crab from the ocean that's got very sharp claws. And now Fred tells my goldfish, you should go to the other side of the bowl. My goldfish is getting more and more unhappy. I don't know how much more he can take. What number day are we going to now? 9. On day 9. That does it. My bowl now contains a sunken pirate ship, 2 guppies named Rhoda and Clark. A lot of names to remember now. Get ready. And an angelfish named Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha. Somebody say Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha. Somebody say Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha. Who says she's from Hollywood. Where else would a person named Cha-Cha be from? She says she's from Hollywood. I can't turn around without bumping into something. At least Mervin is happy. Because Mervin is what? And all Mervin wants to do in this goldfish bowl is do what? Eat. And we all think that's pretty disgusting. At least Mervin is happy. There's more gunk on the side of the bowl every day. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have Mr. Bubbles, who won't say anything to my goldfish. We have a ton of plants that are going to suck up all of the water. I have a Mervin snail, a snail named Mervin, who only wants to eat the slime off the inside of the bowl. I've got Cha-Cha, who's from where? Hollywood. And she's going to be doing her thing. She's an angelfish. And my 2 guppies are named Rhoda and Clark. Unless this is a pretty big bowl, my goldfish is very cramped in his space. None of us likes to be in a cramped space, right? No. We all want our room. We all want to be able to stretch out, right? Yeah. It's getting crowded. What day are we on? What day are we on? What day are we on? Somebody say cha-cha. Cha-cha. It's getting good. Day 10. My goldfish says, this is ridiculous. I was trying to find room for a swim today when Rhoda and Clark told me they're going to have babies soon.
What?
There's room for that. Wait a minute. How many things do we have in this bowl? We've got plants, we've got a snail, it seems like 1,000. We got plants, we got a snail, we got an angelfish, we got 2 guppies, we got our Bubbles figurine. We got a lot of stuff in this tank, and they're talking about having babies. Fred knocked Mr. Bubbles over, and he became tangled in the plants. Cha-Cha said she couldn't help with Mr. Bubbles, but needed me to apply her sunscreen. See, when you're from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot of sun, and there are a lot of sunglasses, and people need to have their sunscreen on. Somebody say cha-cha. Cha-cha! The sides of the bowl are now covered in slime, and Mervin says he's too full to eat anymore. Yuck! Mervin is too full to eat any more of this slime that continues to be on the inside of my bowl. There are way too many things in here. And don't forget, Fred is walking around the bowl and he's snapping his what? Claw. And if Mr. Bubbles, who's tangled in the plants, if the angelfish, who's walking around named? Cha-cha. Somebody say cha-cha. Cha-cha. If the 2 guppies that are now talking about having babies, if everybody doesn't get out the way, Fred could make the mistake of snapping my goldfish. That was day 10. What day are we going to now? 11. Somebody say cha-cha? Cha-cha. Day 11. Mr. Goldfish says, ladies and gentlemen, I am a nervous wreck. Trying to avoid Fred, I turned around quickly this morning and came face to face with my reflection in a mirror. I nearly jumped out of my gills. I don't even look like myself anymore. I need to relax. Does anybody know what stress is? Stress is when you're worried about things. Stress is when you need some space. Stress is when you just need some time for yourself. My goldfish, ladies and gentlemen, is experiencing stress. What day was that? Day 12. We're moving on to day 12. Somebody say cha-cha. Cha-cha! I've had it. Rhoda and Clark were racing around the bowl. Remember, they're going to have babies. Fred was fighting with Mr. Bubbles. Mr. Bubbles never said anything to anybody. Mervin kept belching because he was too full of slime. And Cha-Cha, somebody say Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha! She told me I was standing in her light. The nerve of Cha-Cha. I just lost it. This is my bowl, I screamed. I want my bowl back. Remember when we started on day 1, the goldfish was the only thing in the bowl, right? Yeah. Now there are way too many things in the bowl, and my goldfish now has stress. Remember? My goldfish has stress. And Cha-Cha says I'm standing, the goldfish is standing in her lap. Look at the face of my goldfish. He is really having tough days, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, he's not done this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or just 11 days. He's done this for 12 long days. Day 13. Today I got my wish. Well, sort of. With a whoosh, and a splash, and a clank, and a plunge, I was suddenly in a very tiny bowl of clear, pure water. Ah, my goldfish says his stress is now gone. It was small, but it was all mine. How many of you all know that sometimes all you need is a little bit of space? It was heaven. I swam around my new bowl, not once, but twice. But I started to wonder, what had happened to everybody? Where did everybody go? When I last saw Mr. Bubbles, he was tangled in green. Who would help him? poor Mervin was probably sick. Probably sick as a dogfish. He needs me. Somebody say Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha! Cha-Cha will get a sunburn without me around because I won't be standing in her light, says my goldfish. What about Rhoda and Clark? Did Rhoda have her baby guppies? There are probably 1,000 of them. They need me to make guppy bottles and change guppy diapers. Even Fred needs me. Who's Fred? Even Fred needs me. I'm the only one who can really talk to the crabby guy. Have they even noticed that I'm gone? Does anyone miss me? My goldfish started to cry. My goldfish is sad. Now he's lonely. That's not easy for a fish to do. Why is it not easy for a fish to cry? Well, you won't see him because he's already in the water, right? You won't see his tears. What day are we on, ladies and gentlemen? Day 14. 2 weeks. 2 weeks is a long time. After a long, sad night, there was a whoosh and a splash and a clank and a plunge, and I was suddenly sprayed in the face by who? Mr. Bubbles. Mr. Bubbles gurgled a happy tune. Rhoda and Clark raced by me like two speedboats, followed by 12 of the cutest guppy babies you've ever seen. Mervin waved his tail at me from the nice clean glass of our now enormous tank. Cha-Cha, somebody say Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha! Cha-Cha sat happily beneath an umbrella. I think even Fred missed me, said my goldfish. Now they're all in a great big tank. Look how big the tank is. Looks like it's got room for everybody. Everybody can stretch their arms or their gills. Mr. Bubbles can blow the bubbles. The guppies can swim around. The babies can follow them. Fred is now free to go clank and try to snap without hurting anybody. And I even think our angelfish, what's our angelfish's name? Cha-Cha! I even think Cha-Cha's gonna be happy. We were all back together. And I looked around and realized I was part of a big what? A big family. I guess I must have smiled because Clark said, "You look happy." I wanted to see for myself. Where's the mirror? Somebody get me the mirror. What mirror? Asked Clark. We don't have a mirror, said Fred. No mirror? No wonder I didn't look like myself. It wasn't me I was seeing. Her name is Gracie. And she's the color of a fresh tangerine. Who likes oranges?
Me!
Who loves tangerines?
Not me!
She's a Pisces just like me. And today we're going to swim around the tank together. How many of you all know that having a good friend to walk around with is one of the best gifts in life? So when you all go outside today, I know that you all will be walking around the yard with a friend. And friends always look after friends. Friends don't hurt each other's feelings. Friends don't cut each other down. Friends take care of one another. And what's the goldfish's friend's name? Grace. And they said that they're going to swim around the brand new tank, not once, but twice. Somebody say Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha! How long did this story take to build out? 14 days. Listen, I want to leave you with another gift. How many of you all at least watch 1 hour of TV a day? Just 1 hour. What if I told you that there was more fun, more action, more adventure, more great stories about friendships and animals and people in books than on TV? Would you believe me? Okay, will you make me a promise, all of you? And this is a promise I've asked my children to make to me and that I made to myself. March is what? Reading month. I want each of you all just to try this. If you don't have a book, I want you to ask one of your teachers. I want you to ask one of your parents. I want you to ask one of your grandparents. I want you to ask a friend to bring one from home. I want you to ask someone before you leave school today. I want you to say, will you please give me one of those books that Bert Johnson was talking about? Because I want to see if he was telling me the truth. There is more action, more fun, more adventures, more beautiful stories in books than there are on TV. So, each of you all ask that question and take a book home today to read.
Yeah.
Will each of you all ask that question and take a book home to read?
Yeah.
You promise?
Yeah.
Pinky swear?
Yeah.
Listen, I've had fun being here with you all. I've got 2 other schools that I've got to go to, but I'm promising you this is one of the better parts of my day. In politics, it's not always a fun time. But when politics allows me to come to schools and have fun with people like yourselves, then that's when I have great days. So I want you to have a great day. Have you all had lunch yet? No. So when you have lunch and you go out to recess, I want you to walk around with a friend. I want you to take care of one another, and each of you is going to ask that question about a book, right? God bless you all.
Boys and girls, Senator, if you come forward. I thought that was excellent that the senator took time from his busy schedule to read to us, to illustrate through words and reading and the writing of another local Detroiter. But we're going to give him a cheer in the Glazier way for him taking time out. Let's give him the roller coaster. Are you ready?